outside due to having to evacuate the building facility. So we are here with our final guest this evening, Herbert Hoover, who was the 31st President of the United States. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be with you here today.
It's my pleasure, Mr. President. Now, since you were in office when the economy took a turn for the worst, how was the economy before it crashed?
The economy was strong. Companies mass-produced large quantities of products using an assembly line so they could sell them cheaply. Also, confidence in the stock market was growing, so investors bought shares of the companies that went public to gain capital. Also, my Secretary of the Treasury, Andrew Mellon, revised the tax system in 1921. He cut top income tax rate from 77 to 24%, predicting that the majority of the money would be invested back in the U.S. economy, giving more revenue for lower rates. The gross national product, or GNP, is the total value of goods produced and services provided in a company during 1 year. The U.S. GNP is in 1929 was $977,000.
Wow. Well, you mentioned the stock market, and you've all heard about the crash of 1929, but most don't understand the full impact that it had. Would you care to explain?
Sure. The stock market crash was caused by buying stocks on margin, which is when you only had to pay 10 or 20% of the value of the shares, which meant you were borrowing 80 to 90% of the value of the shares. This enabled more money to be put into the shares, increasing their value. Investors made huge profits by buying on the margin and watching shares prices rise. But prices fell on October 29th, known as Black Tuesday. People began panicking and selling all their sticks, causing the market to lose 11% of its value. Over the next 4 days, the market dropped an additional 25%. When the economy began to go south, small banks faced customers defaulting on loans because of a spike in real estate rates. Large banks like Citizens were overinvested in the stock market. When businesses started going bankrupt because they were producing too much, people lost their investments. People went bankrupt, because they weren't insured, people lost all of their life savings. This brought the Great Depression, which is the greatest recession or period of temporary economic decline during which trade and industrial activity are reduced, generally identified by a fall in GDP in two successful quarters in history.
Well, that was quite an informative speech. Thank you for educating us on this very important topic in U.S. history. Oh, you've just run out of time on the show, so I'm going to have to wrap up. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Alright, and thank you, the audience, for joining us today on our show. It was made possible by the U.S. Department of Education and contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.